And good morning, everyone. Welcome to another round with Dylan on the Dadcraft73 Patreon server. We're going to be doing some Java Minecraft. So Dylan Russell today is going to be doing some more of that choppity, placey business. I'm surrounded by a lot of the boxes that I should have put away, but never actually bothered to do so. So let's just see what we've got for inventory. Okay, we've got some random junk. We're going to get rid of the random junk. But other than that, we're going to jump in. No, that's fine. We're going to jump right into... Right here. If I can get the right buttons going back to game today. There we go. If I can get things going. We are jumping right into the Minecraft business. Not just going to chop things down today. I've figured that's a little boring. You know, I had enough of that. So, what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to take some of the materials that we've already got, and we're going to place them in the spots around the outside to raise things up. So not just cut down, but also build up. Not ideal, but it works. This birch and oak. Indeed it is. Okay, perfect. I'm just going to put that on the other side so that when we come back again, I'll be able to know easily what it is. It's the wood corner. All right. Sticks. Do I have a stick pile on the go? No, I do not. Okay. Apples can go over here. But really what I'm looking to do is get rid of the randoms before we go. Just because I'm going to need those box spots. Let's see. That one. Cobblestone. Cobblestone stone. Okay, and I need that box. Random junk today? That. Yes, it is. Okay. Do I need any of that? Probably not. Maybe I'll just leave that box here. What do I have in this one? More trees. And some random stones and stuff. Okay, get that out of there. I can put that shulker back. So, the art that we are working on... just put empty shulkers there. The art that we are working on today, I just need to quickly turn that one on for you guys. Where's my reference? Live, reference it. Go. So we're going to be working on this picture again. We still got to do a lot of flattening off to see where things are at. And we will hopefully... I just realized my stream is completely out to lunch again. Okay, well, let's try... that game... Whoa, no capitals. That game... Minecraft. And see what it does. Tried to change the game, but it didn't match anything. Okay, so let's just see if I can get set over here. I don't know why I'm completely off this morning, but... Minecraft, there we go. Done. But it doesn't like me. I don't know why it doesn't like me, but that's okay. Oops. Building up for change. There we go. Chance? Can't spell. That's okay. We'll go with that. Build me up. Buttercup? Sure. Done. Okay. So let's try a set title. Set title. Build me up. Buttercup. There we go. Okay, let's see if that works. Title's been updated. Okay, close enough. I don't know why I didn't like the set game, but that's okay. Alrighty, and then we need to have some noises, visuals. There we go. Alright, so, oops. Occupy. So after I've got all this craziness done, oh, wrong way, this way. There we go. Let's see if we can actually get moving. This one, put away these. Random junk, okay. So we're not just going to be doing sorting around here. We do have other things to do. Coal ore. Where did I put the coal ore? You would tend to just mine it. So just find a random spot for it. Put it up here for now. Cobble can go extra. I do need that, so let's not move the cobble. Gravel. Gravel. Stone. Okay, I can take that. That's fine. Dirt's fine. Flint I don't need. Fine. Oh, whoops. Okay. And what else? Okay, so we got dirt. That's good. The dirt in there. Oops. Placeholder. Okay, what we got in here? Stone. Take that. More dirt. You'll take that. I'd rather have dirt than stone. 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 We have a lot of stone, but that's okay. And what do we got in here? More stone. Randoms, okay, so let's take stone. Stone. Dirt, perfect. That. Stone. Stone. And what's this? Everything under the sun, anything I actually need. Not really. Might as well just in here. Or randoms. Okay, I might as well just leave these two here. Dirt. Put away some actual stone. Stone. This. Oh, you don't fit. Sure. Okay. And we'll put one more stone box up top. Don't think we need any of the precious stuff. Definitely don't need the tree box. That's some more random stuff. Okay. Just gonna move this random over there. Alright.
Hello.
Good morning. How are you this morning, Fantastic Sherlock Fox? Hopefully everything's going well for you. And I apologize for the very slight delay this morning. Some strange behavior on my programming. So we'll just have to see what happens. But yes, that's where life is. And this morning we're going to build up rather than break down as a bit of a change. So hopefully we'll have everything we need. Oh, I don't need copper. Gotta get rid of as much of my inventory as I can, just because it's going to be in the way pretty quick here. Dirt, we'll start with that. Let's put the stone in there. We'll start with that, and then we can put the dirt away after. So what I'm going to do today, rather than cutting down, is I'm going to go to the borders and build up instead. Something a little different, I guess, for a change. And yeah, so Thursday is going to be pretty quiet Thursday. Now, I don't know what you replied to or what you responded to this morning in order to get into the stream. I don't know if you came directly or via a notification, because I know my notifications were busted. As usual, I forgot to... We're on 72, wrong one. As usual, I forgot to... preset them before I started. So we're very much out. Out is in incorrect. See, what level are we on? 69? Okay. So 70 will be at this level here. Good, half decent view. Let's see what we can do. Made a boo-boo. I'm always forgetting things this morning. Okay. And there we go. In. There. Oh, phooey. I thought I could do something quickly, and it turns out I can't do it quickly. So let's wait for something to boot, and while we're there, 70 will be at this level, so I'm just going to fill in up to that level, and then we can actually go downwards as well, outside the white. I'm going to probably terraform that off afterwards, just so that everything looks nice, but not at the moment. I haven't decided what kind of border I want for this art, so that's part of why I'm not doing something nice beyond that point at the moment. That's going to be 71, so I don't need this. Come on. And move the hoe. I should have brought shears to make that part faster, but didn't. So yeah, this is 70 here. Now, as you can see, we had ourselves a hole in the bottom. Hole in the bottom of the, whatever this is. Hole in the bottom of the hill. There we go. So I will probably have to do something with this because it's even flatter than the neighboring zone. But for now, I'm just going to throw a torch in it so that we don't end up with a whole ton of mobs harassing us. Throw it over here. That should do most of this area. And do I have... Okay, I do have a bed. That's going to be a pain because it goes way down. But if I fill it, that's okay. Bit more visual variety. I mean, still, you know, up and down and stuff. And I may actually end up falling in holes I don't want to be in or have mobs harassing me. So it's a little bit of a bit more excitement today. I played Valheim yesterday, and I'm definitely going to be, instead of borrowing my son's copy of the game, I'm definitely going to be buying one of my own because I quite liked it. It was actually a lot of fun. So, quite keen on that. It was a little bit addictive. I was originally planning to do some Valheim, then stop, that I wouldn't make progress, and come on right over to this game and play it instead. But, yeah, unfortunately I was having too much fun. That sounds weird to say unfortunately, but I really was having way too much fun. Okay, what do we got? I'm just trying to orient myself a little bit. Okay, the home's over there, okay. Because this is outside where I want to be, and this is inside, and that's where I'm getting myself all lost. We're only at 67 at this level, which means we need to go up quite a way. Take out this tree. And need my hoe back. The inside of that one. There's still a lot of deforestation, but at least we're going up instead of down. It's a bit of a change. Inside? Yes, we're inside the line. Need to take that one down. And it occurred to me I forgot to fade the Spotify back in. Maybe. That's a maybe. Where are we here? Where is this setting? Come on, I want to find that setting. Just having one of those days where... Oh. Okay. So, one of those days where things are just going a little bit sideways. Although I'm assuming that's pretty much usual for me. Okay, so here we are. I need to, not leave one block. Trees are not going to despawn if I do that. Alright. I wanted music. Where did the music go? Microphone, please? Nope. Spotify? We're playing. It's just a quiet song, apparently. Yeah. Suppose? Advanced audio properties. I'm still supposedly hearing this, so... if you guys can't hear it, you have to let me know. Alright. Got something in the background there, a good start. Goes back to where we were. One is inside. Gotta get rid of that. that despawn. We can start building in. That goes way around the corner, so let's just head up to 8, so, okay, 970. I'm going to start just peeling it in, or putting it in. That 70's up there, okay. Why 70, you ask? It was a rather arbitrary decision, but now that I've decided 70 is a nice round number, I'm going to stick with it. And that will get me a relatively flat platform for art. It's not perfect, but I like flat platforms for art rather than doing it vertically. And I can turn that off now. Rather than doing that vertically, just because... Uh-oh. I just crashed my game. Okay, be right back. I think we're back. It looks like we're back. So we'll just have to see how long that works for. I'm a little confused. I don't even know what crashed it. It just quit. But yeah. Odd. Anyway. We're at 67, 70, 68, 69, 70. Means this... Oops, that's that way. And we're just going to move this block that way, so we can get things built up to that height. I'm not the world's fastest block placer, so we're not going to make a ton of progress at doing this, but it's moving along. Moving right along, right? Muppet style, moving right along. And yes, that was very off key. Then again, Fozzie was never on key anyway, so I'm not feeling too guilty about that. Too connected to everything else, that's the problem. Okay. We're just gonna fill with whatever we've got. That's part of why I grabbed the stone and the dirt, is that while visually from the top, stone is ugly and it's not my ideal filler, the dirt is completely unnecessary. Need the top layer all the time, because we're going to cover this over with something like pixel. I'm still deciding whether it's full blocks or whether it's just gonna be carpet, but the point is still the same. Okay. You are tree mess. So I know I'm gonna have to take out the trees above Y70, but at the moment let's just fill in because we can, because we've got the supplies to do so. 1, 2, 3. The practicality is the same as when I was chopping down in terms of how far we're getting, but at least something a little bit different rather than me running along tearing things down repeatedly. Okay. 869, 73, you are in the way. Go. Up to that point. Something a little different anyways. Yeah. So I will show you the new total of deaths we have. So game death right now, in this one, since I put the little mod in, I've had 0. But the absolute overall death, I'm now sitting at 23. So yeah, I had 10 since I stopped playing live yesterday, and I think that was a good place to stop. I had some really stupid deaths that were real facepalm moments, so yeah, it was kind of embarrassing. But it's not something I wouldn't have wanted on stream. It's just I had deaths to a log. I had, strange enough, I had deaths to a fish, which is odd because that was the first time I'd even seen a fish. But I came back and the fish was dead, so fine, whatever. I had deaths to the usual railings. Yeah, it was funky. But we had a couple new subs, and that was all good, so, you know, some positives, some negatives. Okay. I'm even forgetting my key commands here. And we're back to allergy itchy noses today. I don't know what's up. I seem to have avoided it yesterday, but this morning I'm back again, so I think it could be pollen and dust getting kicked around just from being outside in between. I'm not outside all that much, which I think on the whole makes me more sensitive to everything. So yeah. There we go. Oh. This morning I'm drawing a little bit of a blank on chatter. It's just some days that happens, and some days I just can't think of what to talk about. But other days, things are just fine. You can't stop me from talking. For better or worse. Oops. Part of it, I think, is just that when I have technical issues with the system, it throws me a little bit, and it shouldn't, but it does. Like a lot of other streamers, we have an itch to try and fix it now. Fix it right away. But we have to know what things are worth fixing right away, what things are worth putting up with, and where to stop in between. So yeah. Basically, now that I've discovered I don't have to wear earbuds in order to stream. So I've been using my regular default output speakers because it wasn't getting picked up, or at least not enough anybody actually said anything. And so, we're up to here. Okay. So it was a bit of a shocker when I decided this morning I was going to plug in USB cable rather than the Bluetooth that was operating my speakers because Bluetooth kept going to sleep. So I plugged in the USB, which is great. It recognized the speakers, so far so good. And then it promptly decided that even though those were set as default, nothing was going to output to them. I don't know. So I had to go back to the Bluetooth command of it, even though the USB is still plugged in. So I have no idea which end is up today. But yeah, so that threw me a little bit. And then I've always had a problem with myself not hearing the same level of the outputs that you guys are hearing on stream. And people telling me things on stream are way too loud. So I'm a little puzzled by that as well, because I've got my own system set pretty high so that I can hear roughly what you hear, and it's just being weird. Like, you're probably going to hear the game open up a shulker here. Yeah, there we go. Dunk. And that was just because... Oh, extra shulker. Oh, I made a boo-boo. Great. Not good. I did not grab an extra ender chest to do this with, to put extra empty shulkers away. And I left my bed up there. I'm winning. Batting 100. Goodness gracious. Alright. There, I got the bed. The bed's far more critical. So basically what I'm going to do is use this, rather than filling it out, well, maybe I'll go to this block, just a 5. Yeah, that's a good 5 spot. So what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to make this one up to the right height, and then use that as sort of a strip, I guess you could say, a good cutoff point to start with. And then we'll go up to 70 on that one, all the way back as far as we can. Start working our way down the side. We unfortunately don't end up with the bonus of the beacon by doing that, but I don't think it's worth moving the beacon when we're just filling in, because it's not going to help a whole lot except with movement. But if I'm just starting and stopping as it is, then we're not going to worry too much about the movement anyway. So, even though we get to the back, we're just going to keep on trucking. Dylan's going to try and learn to place blocks faster. I know there are tips and tricks to it, but as you can see, if I go too fast, you make a mistake. Hello, Zerk. Well, you're not the only one. Today's got a couple of weird tech glitches going on, so doesn't like me all that much. Rather than cutting down, in short, we are filling in to build up. Just a little bit of variety, because I'm going to need to do it anyways. So, yeah. Starting... I mean, there's still a lot left to cut down, but at least it feels like progress if I can figure out where the edge is and build up for a change. And this is not the whole edge, it's just a strip of it, but I just needed to do something a little bit different. So yeah, discovering that it's interesting because the time slot I stream in is a rather unique situation. Not in a good way, just an odd situation, because I was taking a look at some of the streams I've been doing. Hello, Creef. Good evening. How are you today? By the way, just complete derailment side note. The hellos and sub sounds and stuff will slowly be changing. I've had a couple more ideas of ones I want to add. Part of it was as a result of a follow yesterday that became a sub. I didn't have a separate sound for those. I just had a short bell ring kind of sound, and that bell ring sound I didn't even recognize was follow or sub, but because it wasn't recognizable to me, I didn't catch it to thank the person appropriately. I felt like such a doofus for that, but you know, it is what it is. And so I need to change that up, just for that reason, to find some more sounds to put in those bins. Got a couple ideas, like, I mean, everybody and their dog is using Kenobi's hello there, but if I throw it on random with Mr. Bean, that's not too bad. I've got a Three Stooges sound I just need to put in the correct folder so that it can random pull from that folder. So that's a good one. One of the nice perks about this bot is just the sheer number of things I can do with it at random. It's not necessarily a random number generator, but it's a, like play a random sound from this folder. And then as long as I set the folders up correctly, and I don't have to list out every single random sound. So with that going on, for the follows, I'm looking at probably using a couple of cheesy clips from movies. Things like a bit from the Following the Leader song from animated Peter Pan, and Follow the Yellow Brick Road from The Wizard of Oz. Subs, I still need ideas. I'm having a challenge with that one, but things that involve the word follow weren't too bad. I'm doing okay, Creep, just a little flustered because I hate tech issues. They are part of the bane of my streaming existence because I want everything to be perfect. It can't be, but that's just... it's one of the things I would like to have happen. And not having it right just leaves me a little flustered for a while. We're building up instead of cutting down. I know that there's a lot of cutting down that remains to be done, but it would be nice for me to be able to have some up built, like fully reached edges, so that when I get cut down, it feels like I'm actually getting closer rather than cutting down something where it feels like I've got ages and ages and ages still to go. A tech is never perfect. Tech is never ever perfect. I worked, I mean, if tech was perfect, we wouldn't have tech support individuals. And I worked frontline tech support for an internet service provider for 5 years before I stopped to have kids. And I commiserate with people who have to do that still. I feel sorry for them because it's not just users are dumb. Sometimes the tech is dumb and not intuitive. And sometimes things get changed and people who write the tech are the ones who write the manuals, which is great. But the problem is that if you wrote it, or if you're familiar with your product, then sometimes you're not the best person to write the manuals because they become not intuitive to help the users. But yeah, that's my grandstand for the day. Just tech sucks. How's that? Right? Tech sucks. Oh, come on, I've gotta... oh, let's use it. But, yeah, I just needed some visual variety from the cutting down part. The other thing is if I get enough of the edge built up, then it provides me opportunity to decide if I get frustrated or bored with the cutting down part to just start along the side and start placing as far as I can. Try and make the picture start to appear because I'm missing it. I'm looking forward to it. I have not picked slots for this month's stream weekend, and the reason that was perfect, all of us techies would be bored. No, in your job, Fantastic Sherlock Fox, you would not be bored because there still would be people being malicious with and about and into tech. You know? Still can't stop the bad guys. We need people that have to train the crazy users on how to actually secure their tech. Pardon me. And find those that are being a pain in the backside with the tech. Okay. So on one hand, I like being techie in terms of playing around with my bot and so on. On the other hand, I am aware that sometimes managing more yourself, while it allows for creativity in some cases, it does also offer more opportunity for failures. But you would think something normal like speakers shouldn't be a problem. Anyway, shake my head is all I've got. So I ran into one of our friends from Dadcraft's, what's the word? Oh, pick a box, any box. Oh, sure, cobblestone this time. Run into yesterday one of the our fine friends from Dadcraft's stream community. B Silver B was hanging out when I was playing Valheim, and it was kind of interesting because we both agreed that that game is somewhat like Minecraft, yet it had, oops, one left, yet it has a slower progression to it in a lot of ways, because you can't really automate farms. It's just grindy. The whole thing you do is grindy, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that on the whole. Like, I mean, you guys are well aware I'm not a huge fan of automated farms in my Minecraft, but it is definitely interesting to note that you're very right. I will say, you know, placing blocks down to actually do anything with them is just as annoying in Valheim as it is here. But it was mildly funny because I was thinking to myself, I don't know anybody that plays Valheim. Definitely not in the time window that I played it yesterday. But then, of course, as I headed to bed yesterday, lo and behold, XP was playing Valheim. And I was like, really? Very, very, very different level of play. But, yeah. I guess I do know somebody, technically. He's never going to be streaming it in the window when I'm ready to raid, but, just interesting that he was doing that. And now I remember... Let me just write something down. Actually, no, I'll just remember it later. He was playing with Technomage Grim, and I it wasn't Technomage Grim, was it? I can't remember. Must have been. Anyway, but I was scrambling last night to figure out who it was that he was playing with, because I used to follow them, and then got out of following them just because I had this crazy notion that I was going to clean up my follow list, because it was getting to be ridiculous scrolling through the screens of who it was. And, yeah. Promptly forgot who it was. And had regretted not following this person.
Hello.
And as for just alternate point of view. Good morning, Dub Dynamite. It is a pretty enjoyable game. Kind of funny though, because B Silverby and I were chatting about how it is similar to Minecraft in a way. I mean, you're still miny diggy diggy kill a boss, you know? Or grindy build something. Yeah, kill another boss, I guess, really. So there's a lot of similarities, but it is refreshing from a Minecraft point of view, and addictive enough that I had plans to come work on this after, from the more boring cut down point of view, and just never got to it. So yeah, that was where the majority of my cheesy face rolling mistakes were coming in yesterday. What we're up to today is filling in. We haven't finished the cutting down, but I needed to a bit of change of scene, just to do something a little bit from the other side, make me feel like this platform's actually getting somewhere. Because I had decided that Y70 was where I was going to start placing things. As in, that's the level I wanted flat for the art. So, being as I don't have a 150 by 150 open plane that's at Y70, it's either build up or cut down, or both. Yeah, we've got an interesting crew. I actually enjoyed raiding into UW. That was really fun. I don't think I've had many opportunities to do that before, just because I wasn't doing evening streams. And, just had the chance, so I took it. Oh, where are you coming? Aha! There's a hole of some sort nearby. So I triggered something underneath. Gotcha. Let's hope I don't have to use the death counter on this game yet. But for the mods edification, if we do need to use the death counter, I have got a button on my stream deck. However, it is just ! deaths, and then a plus or a minus if we're adding one or taking one away. Deaths by itself just announces how many deaths in the game. Deaths total is announcing how many total deaths I've had on the death counter, all games combined. And if you do a plus or minus, it affects your local game, and the whole total. But thankfully it's bright enough to figure that part out. But it's nice that it counts in a per game basis. So when I'm switching back and forth, the number of horrible face rolling deaths I've had in Valheim would not affect the number of deaths I've got in Minecraft. but I did not keep manual tracks since the start of the season, so unfortunately we're starting from 0 in Minecraft today just because I didn't have the add-in available at the time. 70, yeah. Okay, we'll leave that one there. Where are we here? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's always fun because I like your playstyle, Del, jeepers. Wow, I like your playstyle, Dub. It makes it's a very interesting, very chilled, very relaxed thing, and yet you are willing to try things that I'm often too chicken to try. So it's really a pleasure to have someone who's, for the most part, pretty chilled about things and doesn't necessarily always freak out about stuff. And yet, I also like that you're willing to find some of the same things funny that I do, in terms of things like DC setting himself on fire every once in a while, and so on and so forth. But also, sometimes, the other thing I like about your stream is sometimes you have the opportunity to share your stream with someone else, particularly your partner or significant other, wife, etc. And I don't have that opportunity. Just things get busy in life, and Fantastic Sherlock Fox hasn't been able to play for a while. Not to mention, even if he did, I have a suspicion he probably would not be comfortable on stream just because he has to talk to people all day. So in the evening or when he's outside work, is one of those times that I think he likes to not talk to people. Discord's one thing, chatting in stream is another thing, but actually having to be interesting verbally is not one of the things I think he wants to do day in and day out all day long. So yeah, today's question of the day. Thank you for running that one. So today's question of the day is maybe the same as Creef saw the other day, but that was because people can have silly things happen to them that they haven't talked about, but also that I think I may have had something happen where I was pretty much the only one that responded to that. The dumbest thing I've done since then, so injury-related dumbest thing I've done since then. I thought I was going to be smart and put one of my storage backpacks, for like my camping backpacks that I'd used recently, out of the way, just turn it around so that I wouldn't step on the buckles. Not realizing that I had hooked part of the waistline on the bed, and therefore it stuck out, and discovered that at about 3 in the morning I stepped on the buckles. Not pleasant at 3 in the morning because you can't exactly shout ouch. So yeah, that was my dumb thing. My foot's still a little sore afterwards, but oh well. Okay, so we're starting to see that we have to come down on this side. This is the eastern edge. And here's the hole where those maniacs are hiding. Gonna come and see me? Way down there? Yeah. They're down a ways. I will probably need to fill that hole just because it's annoying. But it's higher than 70, so leave it for now. Let's follow that wall along and see how far we need to go before we get to 70 on the other side. You also have a challenge of making your schedule work with any type of uninterrupted block of time. Yeah. I mean, that's the other thing, too, is Fantastic Sherlock Fox has very kindly taken on the role of parenting when I'm streaming. So it means then that I get to stream without worrying too much about interruptions from the kids. They get to have a parent still available when something goes down, and all is good, I guess. Where did I? Okay, it might help if I actually have paid attention to where the other end of my 70 layer point was. That might be helpful. Okay, we're at 6, so it's not here. There it is. Sleep away the night to start with. Alright. You've been accident-free for a long time. You mean you haven't even stubbed your toe? Wow. Grief, I am seriously impressed. Okay, what do we got? 2740 even? Yeah, okay. Pencil, 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 where to... My daughter borrowed my pencil. Ah! There it is, okay. Writing it down just so that I can glance back and have things available. Touch his head. That would imply you've got a wood plate in your head, which I kind of doubt. Yeah, so I'm glad you haven't hurt yourself. I'm sure there's probably people who, like, you know, cut their fingers or something like that. Where are we here? 2740? Wow. Yeah, definitely. The blocks on this backside should line up, but they don't. Not ideal. They were too high, but that's okay. Anybody down? Lower. Nine. Nope, we're down. Okay, so all the way to this back corner, we just have 70s to get to. I know I've filled that up to 70 at the bottom there. Alright, so I guess I just need to find where we ended up and go back the other way. 40. Let's run. And run. Okay. Well, I mean, on the other hand, if you... nonetheless. If you know of any stories anybody else has done... Actually, Creep, I forgot to ask you. I don't think you were in stream when I asked the question the other day. Return briefly to previous question of the day. So how do you like to start your mornings? Some people have different ways of starting their mornings. For example, I know I was talking to, I think it was Tits for Truth, and he was talking about liking to start with coffee in the morning. But I guess part of the question was, maybe I should ask it to everybody. Do you have a different routine on what we would consider a work day versus a weekend? Like a work week versus a weekend? Because most people I know do, right? Like they have a different way of starting their mornings. And I'm just kind of curious. Do people in general have different ways of starting? I would like to say, yes, I do. Truth is, I probably don't. I think I'm just as lazy sleeping in on the weekends as I am during the week. You don't have any good recent injuries either. Well, that's good, Fantastic Shock Fox. It doesn't have to be major or minor. Dub cut yourself washing a knife a few weeks back. Thankfully not too badly, but required bandages for a day or two. Ouch. You have a couple... Okay, so you're clumsy, so you have a lot of minor accidents. Then what would you say is one of the silliest ones that you've ever had, where you kind of went, oh man, I can't believe I did that? So those are sort of the two different things I'm asking. Absolutely. Okay, on work days, Fantastic Sherlock Fox rolls out of bed and attaches his Bluetooth headset, and generally off he goes. Yeah. On weekends, ignore sleep advice and sleep in, and then try to make a nice breakfast. The kids are spoiled on the weekend in that they actually have good breakfasts. Like, I remember growing up, it didn't really matter whether it was weekdays or weekends, it was generally a bowl of cereal, and it was a nice surprise if we got pancakes. Although, discovered in later years, those pancakes were kind of sus, so probably a good thing I didn't have pancakes every single day on the weekend, or something similar. Yeah, sus pancakes are a little scary. Routine stays the same regardless of the day. Wake up, catch the news, get coffee, either make it yourself or your wife makes it, and then go and have a shower. The only difference is you need to do the school run at 7 a.m. Ah, okay. So your news and coffee gets interrupted for the school run, sounds like. That makes sense. Yeah, Fantastic Sherlock Fox's day does get interrupted for the school run. Unfortunately, that's part of why it's a Bluetooth headset, is so that he can just keep right on trucking and keep on with the business calls. So every once in a while I've heard him have to apologize for the Wi-Fi switchover from cellular to Wi-Fi. But other than that, he just keeps on going. Which kind of stinks. I'm hoping that he'll be able to have a different shift in a couple of months here. Potential new prospects going on, so we have yet to figure out what the new routine will be, or if there is a new routine. But one of the nice bonuses would be, you know, if someday if we could have a work day where it started at a sane hour. One of the problems with dealing with foreign countries, as I'm sure you're probably aware, Creef, is sometimes you've got time zones that kick you really, really hard. And state of the company type of addresses or open lines at 4:30 in the morning our time. Not great for Fantastic Sherlock Fox, and I usually don't get a good sleep after that's happened either. But yeah. Wow, your son's done early. That's, like for us, that would be nearly marked as a half day on school to have it finish just after 1 p.m. I like that. Our kids, they're still in elementary grade school, so under grade 6 for those of you who deal with primary as your term instead. And they go from 8 until 2:30. But that means that on Friday they get a half day where they're out at noon, which is great for getting things done. I mean, if you're going to go on a trip or something, I assume part of the assumption for having the half day on the Friday is, of course, everybody wants a longer weekend. But also, if you're going to leave, I assume the school system would like you to stay until your school day's over. So by having a shorter day, that maybe they think they're going to get more kids staying longer. I think they're smoking something, but you know, that's neither here or there. Oh, fiddle. Really? Let's drop the apple and the seeds. I heard that pick up again. Yep. Drop the apple and the seeds. Thank you. I want the shulker box. Yeah, they're done. They're not that different. The thing that was rough, as Fantastic Sherlock Fox points out, was they had a 7:13 bus for the class, for an 8 a.m. class. But at that point, it was actually held at another school. Our neighborhood was relatively new, which means that, of course, until the school was ready, then all the kids in the neighborhood were getting bussed out to a different school, which is great, except, of course, 7:13 wasn't the first pickup. So, I mean, some kids are getting picked up, you know, before 7 in the morning on a bus, which is really rough on kindergartners. You know, your kid's 5 years old and he's got to figure out how to manage himself on a bus. It was not one of our best days, let's put it that way. And there's different times where by the time you'd pick him up midday, he was pretty tired and pretty cranky. So we were quite pleased when the local school opened up to have it so short. Like, it's so short a walk. We don't have a lot of buses yet. I mean, there's one that comes regularly, but that's for a special program where those kids all get bussed in from various areas of the city. But we don't yet have a bus, which is actually good and bad. And what I mean by that is, unfortunately, the bus that we do have has problems getting in the morning to drop kids off, and especially after school to pick kids up, just because parents have decided that they're going to park in the bus zone because we don't normally have a lot of school buses. And so there's forever notices over and over and over again that you can't do that, and it's actually illegal. And once the city's marked it as a bus zone, you actually can get ticketed, and so on and so forth. But aside from the odd time ticketing bus zones, the police never seem to do much of anything about our school and playground zones. There's plenty of people that park in the wrong place or speed through it, or, you know, this, that, and the other thing. And so it's kind of funny what they will and won't enforce. I understand that, you know, that those forces are spread thin, but it does make me kind of wonder when they seem to pick and choose what they're going to be doing. And it's interesting because one of the more noisy neighbors who's worried about the speeds has only managed to get the police to come and watch at the end of the month, when there's always those joking rumors that they come to fill the quotas of tickets they're supposed to write. But when they did come at the end of the month, when did they show up? They showed up like 10 minutes before. Oh, server reboot. Lego time. Be right back. So I was in studio mode on my OBS system, which means it takes 2 presses of the live screen to actually get me into that screen. So I took a bit of a BRB break, not even intending to. Wow. Co-victims. I've never heard you refer to your friends as co-victims. Yeah. Today's one of those days where if there was such a thing, I'd be a person who would need coffee to make coffee, if you know what I mean. It's just been one of those mornings. So I'll walk you through what we've got here. We finished off, so the last time we were here, we finished off the base to the tower with the devil's snare in the center. And then the devil's snare is where our trio would drop through their trap door onto the snare in the bottom. They had to remember that the devil's snare did not like sunlight in order to get it to let them go. So that's the bottom of the first tower. We started the layer for the second tower, second floor of our tower. There's a little bit of yellow, gold, and a couple of snappy pieces, and I don't like the pointy bits because they are just hard to pick up off the table. Let's do a couple of steps here, and then we'll head back to the other screen because I've given us a bit longer delay than absolutely necessary. Just a little flat one on the top, a 2x1 straight portion, and then we've got an arch, so that's starting to get a little more visually interesting. Oh, maybe I can get this piece on. There we go. And then a couple of small pieces with little loops in them. Now, these are often used for pinning the towers to, or the Lego pieces to the other sets. There's quite a lot in these Harry Potter sets because it's designed in a linear fashion, but with a lot of snap-together modules to allow people to rearrange the building as they see fit. Now, of interest, we have a couple of torches that they've put in. So they've just got a piece that looks kind of like, in a lot of other kits, they use it as a telescope or a spyglass. This one, they have them point the open end downwards, and then they put the little flames on top. And that will just snap into these little claws that we've got going underneath. But being as they've specified in the kit name that it's just the fluffy encounter, there's probably not going to be a whole lot of reference to the rest of the scene, or not the scene, the rest of the puzzles they have to go through to get to the Mirror of Erised at the end. And that's because, really, they don't need to when it's just a fluffy encounter. But they did show the Devil's Snare because, of course, that's immediately what happened right after. So as soon as you get through the trapdoor and it closes, no more fluffy, which, hence no more encounter. Okay, so then we've got, rather than building a whole bunch of little pillars, like on the bottom level, these gray pillars were separate, and we had to add all the little curlicues. For this level up, they've actually just given us 2 pretty much pre-punched doors. So that makes life simple. A bit too pre-printed for me, but gets things through quickly and allows them to put in rounded pieces, whereas Lego's notable for their square pieces. Hence the reason some people jokingly refer to Minecraft as digital Lego. But I've actually seen an app that was purporting to be digital Lego, and it was quite different. I'm not sure which look I liked better. I think I liked the Lego twist better, but in any case, Lego twist, sorry. I will be heading back to the other desk, and we will get back to Minecraft, which is what we're really here for. Let's do live correctly. Yay. Okay, great. So we can actually see where we're at, and this one worked properly, I think. I think. Maybe. Great. Oh, tree, you're gonna be in the way. So yes, definitely one of those need coffee to make coffee mornings. I'm sure other people have had days like that where you get up and you seem to forget everything that's on your normal list. Should be just second nature routine, and it just does not want to come together that day. Usually something simple like plugging or unplugging a cable is not the kind of thing that would make me forget a gazillion different things. But I think I'm thrown because ambient noise in the back of my head is that I'm kind of concerned about my son's Star Wars fan kid, just because he's not been feeling well the last couple of days. And I feel bad for him, but he had a bit of a special event night at Scouts scheduled tonight, and at this point it doesn't look great for whether or not he'll be able to go. It's just a head cold sniffle style, so it's nothing super major in the big scheme of things, but it's just disappointing when Murphy's Law seems to happen on some of the days where he has other activities planned. I don't think that he's doing it, so to speak, as in he's not making it up. Like, we totally believe him on that front. But sometimes I wonder if he becomes more susceptible when he has an anxiety concern over an unfamiliar situation he's walking into. It is possible, I don't know, but he had it coming on for the last couple of days, so it may not be the case in this situation. More likely not, but it just seems odd. On the other hand, our kids predictably seem to have allergy issue style head colds for a day or so, sometimes keeping them away from school right after camp. And I don't think it's that they don't want to go back to school. I think it's literally that our kids are sensitive to large quantities of dust, so hanging around a campfire, even if you're not allergic to the wood, as some of our other internet friends are, it just still can make you stuff up and cough and, you know, all that runny nose business. Oops. Oh. You know, if I could request one mod for this vanilla server, it would be fast leaf decay. This is just... like, if it decays on its own, it's out of the way. That's fine. But when it just seems to sit around and hang around forever and ever and ever, even on the few times that it is separate from other trees, then it's such a... I wish it would go away. Like, I don't like floating vegetation. If it has a reason, I've seen people use leaves in builds and stuff where they float, and that's perfectly fine because they have a purpose. But if you're just kind of floating in vegetation doing nothing, it ends up looking to me more like a game glitch than anything else, and that's not really what it is. Oops, that one's not right. Go. I'm looking forward to finishing the Hogwarts Fluffy encounter, partly because I just want to see it on my shelf, partly because I would like to get into one of the other kits, you know? I enjoy the LEGO kits. I would probably build them a little faster, but that said, you know, once again, with its variety and it's something to do when the server reboots, but at the same time, I would like to keep in mind that this is not, like, LEGO is not what people come for. No, LEGO came. People came because I did Minecraft, so I do Minecraft. I enjoy Minecraft. Still gonna happen. So I have to keep in mind that this is not, you know, Sid Caesar's Variety Hour or something like that. It's not a Carol Burnett Variety Hour. As fun as that would be. It would imply I've got a lot of talent that I should monetize, but that's not the actual case. Let's go taking out some trees, just because then we can start the process of leaf decay. Am I in the scheme of things? Wow, lots of trees. Okay, fine. Doo-doo-doo. 2, 3. This is not 70, so we have to take up this one. So yeah. So Dubs, I'm sure that you guys probably have a very busy schedule, and so whenever you're in here, there's zero need to chat, and lurking is always welcome. Drop in, drop out as necessary. But I am kind of curious when you have time at some point. Just fill me in on a little bit of how your morning starts out, because I'm sure with a couple of younger ones around the house than what we've got, things are a little different than what we've got here. 70. Oh. Move. So, we're standing on 70 because it's good. Now I've got another spot that's 70, so I might as well just make use of that. And fill in back to that point. Okay. Oh, maybe. Maybe, maybe not. Could be a lot of death involved. Let's not fall into holes. How far down does this go? Bit. That's not too bad. I don't think I need to treat it like a cave. I can fill that up. Oh, I guess I do need to treat it like a cave. Boo! Boo, boo, boo. Oh, please. Yeah, definitely need to treat it like a cave. Especially when it goes on forever. Huh. What a crazy rock that is. You. Go away. That. Okay. More in the middle, probably about here. If it goes down to like 65, I'm okay with that, but when it's going lower, not such a fan. Ah. Okay, so there's the other side of it, so I might actually just fill this part up. 8. Be silly. So now that we're making some headway on, and temporarily getting some of this filled in, then I think I may start splitting the streams up, or half dig, half build, just briefly, so we can get this mess figured out. Just because I want to so badly get this done. Okay. I don't like another torch down. If I can't get down there, how far can I reach? I mean, it means nothing else can get up to me, so that's good news. Here looks good. sunset, that's not there. Timing. Okay. Get the bed out. Creepers would not be something I want. Go. Filling up all the little tiny corners. It is. It is. So I don't know. Saw last season on Bedrock, I did the very large Ghostbusters art. And yes, I'm being a little ridiculous this season in filling up everything underneath me, or as much as I can. I just don't really like caves. Like, I actually am really disappointed with the caves and cliffs update. It's just that it wasn't my kind of thing, but I'm not really sure what was to suggest otherwise, so, you know, you gots what you gots. But yeah, so this one is going to be, even though it's a stained glass window style, at the scale of 150 by 150, that was just not a wall I wanted to build vertically. So it was going to be too big. And I just don't like the idea of trapping a whole pile of mobs in caves underneath, because that means if someone does come to do a walkover, then they're going to have all kinds of noises and sounds underneath. And, yeah. Or potential surprises should something break through. So, while it's all non-spawnable, I don't know, spaghetti caves were not my thing, so I fill as much as I can. Yeah, so this is for art. I've yet to decide what, as I intimated, I've yet to decide whether it's going to be carpets this time. I mean, that's a better use of resources, but it could equally just be solid blocks of wool. If I do carpets, then it stays non-spawnable. If I do wool by themselves, then it's suddenly spawnable. So yeah, I arbitrarily picked a flat Y70. It's more because the art design that I decided to replicate is flat. Eventually, I'm hoping to teach myself how to be comfortable with doing art in multiple dimensions in pixel art. Was dumb. There we go. So I hope to teach myself how to be comfortable doing it in multiple dimensions so we can get, you know, texture and stuff out of multiple layers, but because you can't really easily multi-layer carpets, then it becomes a bit of a non-starter. Oh. Yeah. I mean, there's a limit, like as you saw way down in the bottom. If it's low enough that I can just block it off and you're generally not going to be bothered by anybody, then that's fine. But, I mean, it would be a waste of supplies, time, and a bunch of other things, I suppose, to fill caves up all the way down as far as they go. Half the time, I find when I do that, for whatever nitpicky reason I've got, it turns out that I discover I've got a cave that goes all the way down to bedrock, which would be nice if I wanted one, but usually that's not the case. So, the other thing I have to be careful about when I'm doing this is making sure I don't leave spots for things like zombies or spiders or whatever. I had one where I thought, oh yeah, I'm gonna leave it one high, we're good, you know, nothing will spawn. And I got surprised by a baby zombie. Which is weird because I didn't think that they could spawn in that small space, and they may not have actually spawned there. I just may have accidentally left a hole where they did get through from elsewhere. But because of the potential for things dropping down on my head while I'm doing this, figured it was a visual change that needed to be made on camera anyway, so yeah, I went that route. You enjoyed exploring them when you last did Minecraft? There's some technique. Yeah, for sure. Caving is an art. Like, for those that enjoy it, it's definitely an art. Part of it is that not only have they made the caves more prolific in terms of being everywhere, but they've definitely upped the difficulty, which is fine. It just means that by ooh, not good yet. By practically requiring you to go into caves to do anything. Now, I get the name is Minecraft. I mean, I do get that. But by practically requiring you to go into caves, it's frustrating for those that don't like doing that sort of thing. I just don't like jump scares and surprises, and maybe this isn't the game for me in that case. You know, I enjoy the building part of it, which is why I still play, but, oops. Here I go talking about one high slots and then leave one. But I guess, like, I enjoy the building part, and I don't see another game that lets me do quite the same. Even if you were watching Minecraft, if you were watching Valheim with me yesterday, you'll find that even there, I very much don't like to be closed in. When I was battling other things, I was repeatedly heading out to open spaces. I just don't like being blocked in by stuff that I can't, or I could risk getting myself into a corner. Yeah, I think they do have the game evolving quite a lot, so Minecraft isn't all mine. I mean, it's, you know, not called Chopcraft for a reason. But everybody's got their own different playstyle, and Minecraft is really putting in things to keep the game interesting. At the same time, they're also taking a look at who their target audience is, the people that want to do what they've asked. That sounds funny. It's a bit of a self-fulfilling sort of deal. But, oop. Okay, let's do it this way. There. It's really only me that needs them. Do what I'm doing as opposed to anything else. Multiplayer servers. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. It's funny, though. That has its pros and cons, Fantastic Sherlock Fox. Multiplayer servers do let you access the things from below because somebody else is willing to, sell or trade or whatever.
Hello.
Hello, Tis for Truth. Yes, villagers also really help, hence my very, very large book trading hall. A lot of librarians in that one. But yet, one of the trades that Minecraft does not have, and I know why they don't do it that way, but they don't have a trade for diamonds. You can get rid of diamonds. It's definitely there's a trade for that, but not the other way around. So, in an economy, as many multiplayer servers are, an economy based on diamonds, until you actually manage to find something that somebody else wants that is purchasable, I guess, from until you find something somebody else wants, you are definitely cash poor, and that's fine because it's, that's a reality thing. It's meant to be that way. Oops, I did that wrong. One stock down, please. There we go. Yeah, so it's definitely meant to be that way. People just need to adjust, right? Like, for example, this season, I've only ever held 2 diamonds in my hand. Ever. And that didn't last long because they promptly went into an enchanting station. That's okay. I'm not feeling materials poor at the moment. Sometimes I have to ask for favors. Sometimes I ask for favors, and we have a lot of very nice people that just simply say, "What do you need?" and it shows up. It's kind of like Diner Dash or Dino Dash or Tomazon. Sometimes you say, "What do you need?" and it just shows up. It's like, okay, well, that's not even very Amazon-y, actually, if you want to be really picky on it. But we have great people like that, but I actually haven't had it any more than those 2 diamonds, and I'm totally fine with that. If I got diamonds through sales, great. But it does limit the game if you are choosing to run a multiplayer server economy based on that particular resource. So yeah, I'm actually surprised that it hasn't, on some servers, and it may soon, changed to being an economy based on resources gained from very dangerous locations. That's part of, I think, how the diamond thing came about. Was first off its rarity, and second is the difficulty and danger in acquisition. Oops. The likelihood that the likelihood that you might actually, die if you have to go into a pit or something to get your resources. Diamonds for everything around here. Goodness gracious. You've been really lax in getting shops going, but it was kind of on purpose. Last season you had a lot of grindy materials in the shop. Yeah. Well, that was it. I mean, I've had, on the Bedrock server, I did, what did I do? I can't even remember what my shop was there. But on the Java server the season before, I did flowers, which is a very grindy, very pain in the neck thing, but in some cases it sold half decently. I mean, by the time I got it done, it didn't sell very well because I was late to the season by the time it actually showed up. But I did get some sales simply because the nature of the Java version is that you can't get every flower in every biome just by finding it or bone mealing one that you picked up from somewhere else. Bedrock is much more like that, so you could actually build a flower farm wherever you happen to put your base. There's your flower farm. And but on Java, you actually need to put the farms in the places where those types of flowers can be found. So that made it more, I guess you'd say, more effort, but it was effort that not everybody wants to go to. So if they wanted dyes from flowers or whatever, then they had to either do it themselves or buy from my shop. Middle click, please. Thank you. Go. But this season, I went with books, but once again, late to the party. And so by being late to the party, it doesn't matter how many librarians I've got or whatever. It's just not valuable because other people have already done what they need to do. Good investment of diamonds, though. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I put them into enchanting table, and it's just more fun for the theme, Like, it's not really about anything major. It's not a, oh, poor me kind of thing. It's really just a commentary on shop needing diamonds. Oh, whoops. 70. Okay, I built up too high. That's okay. We'll chop it down eventually. Found your headset issue last night, and replacement parts get here today. Well, that's kind of my point, is things do come quickly. That's part of what the joke is about Tomazon. But the flip side of that is also noting that half the time they just show up. It's kind of like Amazon having those things where you can subscribe to an item. So you'll have it more than you thought you would need it for. Or at least you thought you might have to reorder when you ran out, and it just shows up. So what that result was, where I was going with that, is that you sort of, in real Amazon, if you subscribe to something, you forgot that you'd set it up. And if it's on a credit card or something, you may not even realize you've already paid. Right? It just happens. And so in the Minecraft world with these ones, sometimes you've got really nice friends running these various services or whatever, and you just mention you're going to need such and such, you should get around to going to the shopping district and buying some, and it just shows up. And then you say, oh, well, how much do I owe you for it? And they're like, owe me for what? And they pretend like it never happened. It's sort of like the supplies fairy, right? I've had a supplies fairy for quite some time. Actually, a series of supplies fairies. Some of them are willing to cough up their names, some of them are not. And while it's fantastic, sometimes I feel like I should pay for stuff. As in, put in effort, do some grind, do some something. You know, like, I'd be one of those people that would have a horrible time in real life barter economy. Just doing it again. In real life barter economy, because I don't have a good, and I feel like I should have some sort of service paid in kind, but I don't. So yeah, just that sort of thing. It's different people have their hang-ups about different things, and I've got weird hang-ups, you know. You've never used an enchantment table. Can't blame you. They're annoying. It's fun to do once. And enchantment table, they're supposed to be random in terms of what you get as an option, but I find they don't rotate frequently enough. And it's pretty predictable after a while. But if you don't like what you want and you want to get it rotated, then just enchant a book and then put your thing back in and see what it offers you then. Right? The other reason I don't like the shops mechanism, it's fine, but I'm not good at pricing things. I've never been good at it. For jumbo sales or yard sales or, you know, whatever you want to call them, garage sales, etc. I've never been able to price things. I am horrible at pricing things. I always have to get somebody else to do it. Once they've done it, I'll man the station. I can do cashier all day long, but I'm not great at the pricing. So the shop stuff, it's always either underpriced or overpriced, and it doesn't matter, right? It's only really overpriced if somebody comments on it and complains. It's only really underpriced if you keep running out and get sick and tired of having to go and refill at that cost. Yeah, it's fun gathering resources and XP for the enchantment tables. Lapis is always a fun one. I like the look of Lapis. I like gathering Lapis. But once again, it's one of those things that if you've got a cleric and you can trade stuff to the cleric, you can get lots of stuff. Like, I've got, you know, glowstone. I've got redstone. I mean, glowstone's the only one that's not an overworld product that I've got from the traders so far. But it's one of those things where there used to be a time where it was notable that overworld stuff, okay, sure, you could trade overworld stuff with the locals, but if you wanted nether stuff, had to go elsewhere, like for everything. And that's not the case anymore. I don't think that's a bad thing. It's just a thing. Well, yes. I would agree with you, Creef. The only thing that gets me about librarians is that sometimes you want to get a particular book, and then you find, okay, well, I've rolled them and rolled them and rolled them, and eventually I got what I wanted. Okay, so far so good. It's not great, or you're just not getting it, and you want, and so you'll say, okay, fine, I'll put up with a lesser version and start combining things. And then as you're going along with a different librarian and leveling them up for whatever it is you're doing, like getting their books or whatever, then you turn around and suddenly farther down in there, they've got that stupid book that you just spent a lot of time and effort and money and whatever else getting from your first librarian and doing all the combines. I swear I did an entire shulker box full of books from a level 2 up to a level 5 at a rather expensive rate. I think it was like 30 something, just because I had spent off and on probably about the overall, I'd say 15 to 20 hours trying to get this one book. No go. And I kid you not, I rolled 2 librarians later, because I was doing them in groups, 2 librarians later, and I got that 5th level book, and it was like, really? You're killing me. You know, I just did a whole shulker full of all this trading and whatnot. That's part of how my beacon base is emerald. because I needed the XP so badly. It was just, ugh. And oh, there's another one too, though. I mean, I know I shoot myself in the foot a little bit with this one, but I refuse to zombify and cure villagers. Now, I recognize that Mojang's made it a bigger pain of late than it used to be, in that either the discounts don't stick, or more commonly, that you actually need to do it individually to all of the villagers, rather than just do it to one and the whole room gets dealt with. I just find that, to me, then, being able to do stuff via trade rather than by actually having to mine it yourself does start to feel cheaty. Or more cheaty than ever before. Like, because I don't usually believe in auto farms, I had a lot of the early stuff, I mean, you guys saw it on stream, that I'd melon farmed manually for ages before I built the auto farm. But then that got me my villagers that I could trade those things to, and then get my emeralds to use for the other villagers. Yeah, the game totally trolls me all the time. On the other hand, I will say I got spoiled. Let's see, my boots here, the only thing I put on them was mending. Everything else you see there, the protection 4, feather falling 4, unbreaking 3, and depth strider 3, all of those came on the boots I had. I just had to add mending. So, I mean, it trolls me sometimes, and then other times it kind of goes, I'm sorry, here's something nice for you. Maybe it just trolls me and then says, yeah, so I did something nice, therefore you have to expect karmically I'm going to mess you over really soon. That's possible. Now, because we have up and down, one of the things I was thinking... That is weird. Sorry, I just had a really, really strange sound. I have no idea what it was all about. I'm hoping it's in the song. It doesn't make sense to be in the song, but I'm hoping it's in the song. Anyway, where was I going with this? Rolling. Oh, yeah, so it karmically gets after me. Where I was going with this comment is that we're building up, and we won't finish it all today, and we have a lot of peeling down to do still. So what I think I'm going to do, recommendation from multiple different sources, is to try and plan the stream ahead of time, at least the basic content and the basic sections of what you're going to be doing in your stream. I have the advantage of a strange reboot in the middle of my stream, which is exactly halfway through, as opposed to being either the start or the end. Awkward if I did a 3-hour stream, but I don't do 3-hour streams, so moot point. Anyway, but because I have that opportunity, then I'm thinking before the reboot and Lego break will be either up or down, it doesn't really matter which. And then after the Lego breaks will be the opposite. So if I'm building up before the Lego break, then after we have the Lego break, I will switch to mining downwards. That's just, hopefully won't be too many more streams of either one of them. Oops. But, gets us somewhere, right? Gets us a little bit more variety so that I don't go crazy in a stream. Because my projects troll me just about as hard as the game does some days. I guess one could say they're self-induced trollings when I do that. Uh-huh. Rain on the parade. Actually, this would be kind of fun. To video settings, shaders. I'm not moving very fast, so we're not going to have too much problem here. I'm going to throw my shader on, just because it's kind of fun in the rain to get some puddles and stuff. I'm actually kind of amused, but glad that it doesn't have the ability when you put the puddle shader on to make you start slipping and sliding. That would just be messy. Done. 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 There we go. Oh, maybe this isn't the one that makes everything wet. I thought it was. Oh well. Very moody lighting in this one. Whoa, I might have to take it off. It's making everything really choppy today. Okay, that's not working. Settings. Let's go complementary. Do. It's funny, when I see most streamers who are dealing with shaders, they've basically picked a set, kind of like how the Bedrock has our RTX is either on or off, and that's all you've got. Whereas Java, of course, having so many other options. Here we go. Nope. That's still not working. The rain is making everything way too slow. Options. Kill this. Off. Anyways, but a lot of streamers you'll see will have a set of shaders. That's... oh, bloody hell. I do not like these. I shouldn't have said that word. Uh-oh. There we go. No thunderstorms for me, thank you very much. But yeah, they'll have just one. I open my screen, and I've got far too many. But the problem is, for the most part, they all do very well at different things. Those two are bad news regardless. Come on, can I get you through there? Nope. Come here. Two, three. There, gotcha. The other one's fine, but that... no creepers, please.
Hello.
No. Hello! Oh, sorry about that, Poppy. Welcome aboard. Hopefully you're having a good day. I'm just prattling on about going up and going down. So normally I mine down, but I'm thinking since I can split the stream in two, there'll be a chunk of mining down the layers, excess, and a chunk of building up, because I have a lot of both. You can see that we've got some more cutting down to do, but I figured I would go to the borders and have a little bit of a change and go up in this stream. Because I've picked an arbitrary level of 70 and we're just not there. And wow. Yes, I really do wish I could sleep away in, well, inconvenient rain, we can't sleep away in the game, but I know what you're getting at. In real life, we couldn't sleep that away either. In the game, we can only sleep away thunderstorms. I heard that. Go the expletive word away. This reminds me far too much of one of the worst mod packs I'd ever been in. Had the mod Mobenz. Mobenz is my least favorite mod because it makes your character look really weird if you actually happen to play over your shoulder, but also it gives the mobs extra joints. So, and while the skeleton, and zombie don't run quite as funny as they do in the vanilla game, everything gets extra joints, which is fine. But though I'm getting far better with spiders usually, I mean that was not a great example of it. The Mobenz mod, combined with the mod pack having a rather unique set of skins built in. Spiders all had 8 eyes, they looked a little bit more rounded, realistic, they actually had hairy legs, and then you threw Mobenz on top of that. Like, no. Just no. So that was actually one of the first things that encouraged me to learn how to play around with Lua files to be able to shut stuff off. And JSONs and so on. It's just, config files became the go-to to make sure that any pack that had that set in it had Mobenz turned off for the spiders. The other thing I turned off quite frequently, there's Mobenz and not turned off, sorry. I used to be half decent. It doesn't work anymore, but it used to be half decent at running a very outdated mod somebody had built called Arachnophobia. What I would do is I would build an iron farm, and sometimes it would be as large as the ones you would see in Bedrock. But sounds kind of, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I would build an iron farm quite large to ensure that I had cats getting stuck in it as well. And while that sounds mean, then that allowed me to use the Arachnophobia mod, which just outright disabled vanilla spiders and cave spiders. So you can imagine that was high on my list. I don't make that a default part of my pack anymore because, well, frankly, not just the kitty death is bothersome, but more importantly, that until I've got that part set up and I'm getting a decent quantity of string from that, it's really not helpful. Now, if Minecraft would actually allow you to convert old blocks into string, as opposed to the other way around, problem solved, and I would be fighting for a way of making making Arachnophobia work once again. So, yeah. As I said, I mean, there's different things. I'm bullheaded and stubborn in that I still like the game's building abilities, in spite of a lot of these types of never-ending projects. And I do create a lot of the issues for myself, but there's more and more reasons that it sounds like Minecraft isn't the game for me, and I don't know why I still enjoy it. If I had an answer, then yeah, I'd be probably able to make a lot of money off that. There's probably something psychologically addictive about games like this. That's my only bet. So, Poppy, I'm curious, when you said you liked the sound of rain, what was it that got you to pop up? Was it the rain? Or was it something else? I'm just curious. I mean, so the first question that I'm going to start asking some new people is how you found me. And second question I'm going to start asking people is, what is it that keeps you coming back if you're returning? As I mentioned in stream a little bit yesterday, I'm still working on finding out a bit more of who I am, what works, what doesn't. Minecraft Anonymous. Well, if we're supposed to be giving people interventions, Creef, we're incredibly bad at it. Minecrafters Anonymous. Hi, my name is Delenn, and I'm a Minecraft addict. Not quite. Those would be the people who throw over absolutely every other activity in their life for Minecraft. There are some that do, and thankfully, although I may seem like I enjoy it a lot, I'm not that addicted to it. You eventually stop to eat, sometimes. Sometimes I wonder if gamers, if you're a gamer first, before you get married, sometimes I wonder if gamers have spouses, simply so that somebody's there to remind them to do things to keep them alive, like eating. That'd be 8, 9, 10, 70. So, Fantastic Sherlock Fox, aside from being my better half, what is it that keeps you coming back? Because I know that there are some streamers and YouTubers that you do watch with the kids, rather than trying to ask me to sit in with them instead. I also know there are some streamers that you'll watch even if I'm in a different room doing something else. And I'm just kind of curious, what is it that keeps you coming back to the game? Same thing with you, Creef, actually, because I'm just curious what it is that you guys find most appealing about the games, or the streamers. So, yeah. That sounds a little bit like a answer my world for me, which is not the intent of the question, though I admit it works that way. Fine. This will be 70, so we're good. just number one thing that some of the streamers or advice places talk about when they do it is just find out who you are, what it is that makes you different and unique, and build on that. And that means that you don't always have to have people being crazy clowns, because they'll get the audience that enjoys crazy clowns. You know, like that's all well and good. So I find it interesting to know from people what it is that keeps them coming back to the game, to the streamer, particularly if it's ones that come back some days and not others. You know, is it the streamer you come back for, or is it the game you come back for? You know, there are plenty of people that I've talked to already who watch Minecrafters specifically. It matters who it is, but they come for the Minecraft. If that same gamer played something else, the person wouldn't be there. And so that says, okay, so whoever it is likes that person's style when they play the game that person likes. Limits the conversation in chat, also seeing what I'm up to. Also like the builds, as it's not part of the game I was into. Yeah, I noticed, Fantastic Flux, you're more into the progress part of it, and how I think I got started on being hooked on building, or doing whatever this is probably, as originally it was a time killer. I mean, I wanted to learn how to do the required builds for some of the early mod packs I started with, but I get that the builds were originally a time killer when I was playing with the kids, because they squirrel more than just about anybody else I've ever met. But I mean, that's what young kids do. I didn't even realize it was so late, because I'm carrying a torch. Okay, not smart. Let's see. So Creef likes Lego, and this is definitely reaching into that, for sure, in terms of streamers, chats, and conversation. Yeah, okay. So the why you play answer is a little different than the why you watch answer, and I like that. That's cool. That makes a lot of sense. In my case, it's the projects and the discussion and seeing the builds develop. Well, part of it, I think, sometimes is Fantastic Sherlock Fox has a unique position by being my better half, so that sometimes he hears about these projects ad infinitum before they ever get done. He's sort of, whether he likes it or not, he's a bit of my sounding board. If he actually told me to shut up and stop talking to him about that sort of stuff, I probably would do my best to do so. Usually fail, but probably try that. But he doesn't, so I'm not surprised if there's a bit of a draw to see where the heck all this blathering actually went to. The research that goes into the builds and backgrounds is valuable too. That's funny. Sorry, I find that amusing only. And now for something completely different. Aha! There is that. Okay, so time to box in. What have we got? Got a bit of dirt and some wood. Let's box in with wood today. Sure. Right in the middle. Why not? Because we can. 1, 2, 3, 4. Enough room for bed. Gotta build the blocks. Oh. Whatever. Not too pretty. Head in. Sometimes I suspect it's just watching me derping. Okay, let's try Lego again one more time. We'll be quick as we can. Okay, Lego. So, oops, I forgot the chat. Give me 1 sec. There we go, we're back. All right, so we've got a couple of corner pieces that need to come in. Let's do a short spread here. Oops. Okay. Got those, and then there's a couple of the curly cues, just like we had on the bottom. One layer. They were gray, of course, and then these ones are tan. Oops, let's put them in the right direction. Alright. I'm sure it's not for the Lego, because nobody comes for the Lego. It's just a nice time killer that gives us a little bit of variety when things are getting stale. Not to mention, my kids like Lego, and every once in a while when they're home, sometimes they're watching over Fantastic Sherlock Fox's shoulders. So we'll get a request on behalf of Sheep Queen or for Star Wars Fan Kid. Just to see Mom put together a bit of her Lego. Alright. Now I need 2 straight pieces. I'm having a suspicion that chat may not be correctly updating on my mobile phone, so I'm probably missing stuff in chat right now, but it is what it is. There we go. What? Ew, I really don't like the way that lines up. I'll have to do. Okay, this one, that one, and then one more arch at the back on those 2 little pieces we just put in. Little. There we go. Spread. See what there is in the next page. Alright. So this one just has the next layer of little flat pieces going on, or that mounts to the floor that we built below. So I think I'll take us to that point before we shut this step down. I have yet to connect with someone else who does Lego as breaks. To actually ask them how much of a step do you consider an appropriate redeem. But sometimes just 1 or 2 little bricks feels like such a ripoff. And put the flat zone here and 3 more tans. And then it connects to the gray floor below. So truth is, they actually don't have the trapdoor going down into the devil's snare. Just a solid floor, and then it goes down into the one below. Come on, you. Can't do it sideways. There we go. That is the tower. Or at least a portion of it. There's still a couple pages left, so let's just see what they want us to start next. There's a roofing section, I guess. So that's starting a new piece. I think I'll leave it here and do the redeem for that one next stream. The main table. We're just being quiet and nice. That actually didn't pop up until I refresh my phone, so I'll have to keep an eye on that one. All right. Okay, so that one took a minute to get back on my phone, but that's okay. Go straight to live and quickly chop our way out of here. 2:31 p.m. That's not bad. I'll chop out, and then I will see who we have to raid. Fantastic Sherlock Fox. If you have the mod page up, or Zerk, depending on who's available. If you guys have a mod page up or want to make a recommendation, please go ahead and do so. Otherwise, I'll take a look from my end in just a moment. That out. I think my gut says it's a Groova day. I think it might be a Groova raid. Who do we have? Here. 12 of you, actually. That's not bad. All right, so we made some progress. We're building up. I think I'll do a half and half stream on Tuesday so that we can get a little bit down and a little bit up, and it makes us feel like we actually got somewhere. So I will head us all over to the end screen to be able to say thank you very much to those that came. And I especially want to call out Fantastic Trout Fox for being here. Creef, thank you very much for putting up with the crazy questions and dropping by anyways. And to the Zerks for coming in. You're always welcome. Dub Dynamite, I appreciate that you were able to spend time today. Tis for Truth as well, and Poppy. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. Hope all is good. And my next official stream will be on Tuesday. Assuming that Star Wars Fan Kid is feeling well enough this evening, then we're going to head off to a scout event tonight, so I won't be doing a stream this evening. But looks like from my end, yeah, it looks like we're probably going to head off to Gruva, because it is a Gruva day. So we'll head over there. Feel free to say hello. Actually, you know what? I think instead of Gruva this time, I'm going to head back to Bruno. Not really quite sure what he's up to at the moment, but it does look Minecraft-y, so we'll head over there. Feel free to give Bruno's crew our love, and yeah, I will see you over there. Have yourselves a great weekend. Bye-bye for now.
Mislift managed.